Om Shanti. Good morning, Diamond Morning. Baba's Murli. Today is the 6th of September, 2022. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, do a service with a far-sighted and broad intellect. Prove the contrast between truth and falsehood. Question. What things are proven through the Mahabharata? And what is the meaning of the Mahabharata? Answer. The Mahabharata means destruction of innumerable religions and establishment of the one religion. Second point, the Mahabharata means victory for the Pandavas and defeat for the Kauravas. Third point, it is proved through the Mahabharata war that it must definitely have been God who sat in the chariot and gave knowledge, that God must definitely have taught Raja Yoga, through which the kingdom was established. After the Mahabharata, the golden aged kingdom was established. You children can explain the Mahabharata very clearly. And the song of Baba's Murli, this is the spring in which to forget the world. Om Shanti. Sweetest children, you understand that the scene of the Mahabharata is taking place at this time. The Father has explained that there is as much truth in the scriptures as a pinch of salt in a sackful of flour. All the rest is just false. Now, at the time of the Mahabharata, they show destruction. They even show that missiles were invented in Europe. You children also know that the same sacrificial fire is still continuing when the one religion is being established. There is victory for the Pandavas. There is Raja Yoga. They show that Krishna gave knowledge to Arjuna while sitting in his chariot. You children understand that God gave the knowledge of Raja Yoga. After the Mahabharata war, the kingdom must definitely have been established through Raja Yoga. At this time, there is no kingdom. It has to be established again. They even create plays about the Mahabharata. There are advertisements. They have even made a film on it, and they invite people to see it. You children know that the Father is now telling you the truth. Those people create false plays. They should watch a performance. Baba says you should watch a performance of the Mahabharata for the sake of service and see what those people have created and what you can explain to them from that. You have to churn the ocean of knowledge to do service. However, the children's intellects have not become that broad and unlimited as yet. You have to go and explain to those who have created those plays what is actually true and what is false. The Mahabharata war that you have shown, what is its date and when did it take place? You have to ask those who make the Mahabharata film and program. They have also created a play about God being in every particle, and so you should go and see what they show. The intellects of you children should be very far-sighted and broad. In fact, you should print leaflets about what the truth is. The truth is that which happens in a practical way. Come and understand how all the plays are false. By understanding even this much, you can become the masters of the land of truth. You can claim your inheritance from God. You should have such thoughts for service. Some even go and meet those from the Sarvodaya community. Sarvo means all, Daya means mercy. But that too requires a broad and unlimited intellect. You should explain to them Sarva means to have mercy for the whole world. It is only the one Father who is blissful. He alone has mercy for everyone. 5,000 years ago before today, Bharat became heaven, and there were all types of happiness there. It is now the end of the Iron Age, and so there is so much sorrow and corruption. Only the unlimited Father has mercy for the whole world. I definitely know this, and this is why I am telling you. When you speak of Sarvadaya, it is a question of the whole world. Therefore, come and understand how God has mercy for everyone. It is now the end of the Iron Age. There is also the Mahabharat war. There definitely has to be someone who would make the impure world pure. So, out of all souls, he is the blissful one, referring to God the Supreme. A very good intellect filled with knowledge is required. Baba received news of how someone met the leader of the Sarvadaya community. However, the one who goes to meet him has to have a very broad and unlimited intellect. Baba has seen that no one has yet said anything about a broad and unlimited intellect. First of all, tell them that there is sorrow and peacelessness throughout the whole world. This is the land of sorrow. Therefore, there must surely have been a land of happiness and a land of peace before that. You children have not even told this to those people. You should praise Bharat a great deal. Acha, who made Bharat like it is now? You cannot have mercy for everyone. It is God alone who can do that, and you have forgotten him. He is carrying out his task himself. Yes, it is good that you give something or the other to those who are experiencing sorrow. You should meet them in a quiet place. Write the contrast between the truth and the falsehood in the Mahabharat play that they have created and make such leaflets as what you have to write in the leaflets. Come and understand how Bharat becomes like a diamond from a shell. When the Mahabharat war took place, there was the father from whom you received your inheritance. No one can call Krishna the Father. When people call out to God, the Father, they only remember the incorporeal one. Your children should think throughout the day about how to do service. You should churn the ocean of knowledge about how to awaken others. You have to change thorns into flowers. You have to go to the cremation grounds and do service. Some children go there too, but they become tired. They see that they explain so much and yet people don't listen to them. Oh, but how can they understand? Baba gives the example. The example, how can lambs understand anything? This knowledge is very easy. The highest on high is God. And then there are the deities. The secret of the castes is also very easy. The top knot of Brahmins is the highest of all. You become deities, and you are then not praised as much. There is a lot of praise of you at this time. So many melas for the Shaktis take place. They don't have a mela for Lakshmi. She is invoked on the day of Deepmala. It is always the mela of Jagadamba that takes place. You know who Jagadamba is and who Lakshmi is. Why is Lakshmi worshipped? Where are all of them at this time? Lakshmi existed in the golden age. Where is that soul at this time? You know that Lakshmi took 84 births and that now, at the confluence age, she has become Jagadamba. And this is a point that many people in the path of devotion do not understand, which Baba very nicely explains here. She has been adopted and her name has been changed. Many children say that Baba has adopted them and they ask why their names are not changed. Baba says, what can I do? I would change the name, but you then defame the name. You were given first-class names. You are called Prajapita Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. You have to continue with your own names for the livelihood of your bodies and in business, etc. You say that this is now your name. You still have to give your home address. It is in your intellects that you are sitting here as Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. You also have Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba with you. When you see your friends and relatives outside, you remember your original names. Those names also have to be written. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to understand who you are. Then, when you go back to your households, you forget. Whilst living there, you have to have the faith that you belong to the clan of Shiva and stay in that remembrance. This requires effort. This is why Baba writes, keep your chart whilst having worldly relatives. To continue to remember the one beyond requires effort. This is something new. They show a chariot in the Mahabharata play. They definitely speak Sanskrit verses. You should see what things they have shown and then write about them. You should have the concern to do service. You have to give the introduction. By knowing these things, you will receive the knowledge of the true Mahabharata war. When Baba hears anything, he has thoughts about it. You know that those small sects and cults emerge later. When a tree reaches the end of its lifespan, it has become completely dry. So none of those in a play, Baba says, so none of those of any of the religions is going to come in the golden age. However, those who have been converted will come back from somewhere or the other. Whatever is in each one's fortune, that is as much as each one will take. You have to understand these things yourself and then explain them to others. If you don't create subjects and don't benefit many others, what inheritance would you receive? You can tell from the faces of those people that they enjoy knowledge. If something touches their hearts, they continue to nod in agreement. Otherwise, they would continue to look here and there. Baba checks to see whether someone is worthy or Baba checks to see if someone is unworthy or worthy. That one is the unlimited Father. This Dada also understands. He is not a Buddha, that is a fool. Baba sometimes even says, okay, you may consider this one to be a Buddha. It is only Shiv Baba who speaks the Murli to you. So some people think that this one doesn't know anything, that he is just like them. They have their own arrogance. They believe that they are doing service and that they are cleverer than him. They say such things. They are not far-sighted at all. This is why Baba's way of making the children remember Shiv Baba. This is Baba's way of making the children remember Shiv Baba. That is Brahma Baba's way. It is only by having remembrance that your sins will be absolved. There is no question of body consciousness in this. For instance, if Shiv Baba has heard some news, he is the one who gives you directions. Do service in this way. Churn the ocean of knowledge. As you progress further, many sannyasis, etc., will emerge. They will understand that it is really the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul who is teaching you, and that it cannot be Krishna. You will prove this to them. You can understand what is right and what is wrong. Only you understand who leads on to the wrong path and who puts you right. No one knows that Ravan's kingdom began from the Copper Age and has continued since then. You also have to explain the picture of Ravan. Excuse. When did he begin? The date should be written, and that Ravan is the oldest enemy. By conquering Ravan, you become conquerors of the world. The Father continues to show you many ways to do service. You continue to receive directions. Write such leaflets and distribute them widely. You will continue to receive more points with which to hit the target. Nowadays, many people go to see plays. It is dirty to become impure. It is dirty to become impure. All are impure. They become pure and then become impure. Baba says, you have dirtied your faces. There are many like that. Baba understands how little strength some have to conquer Maya. Some ask Baba if they can get married. Baba then understands that that is their desire. Baba will say, you are your master. You may go to hell or to the ocean of milk. The destination is very high. The vice of lust is not a small thing. It is very difficult. Sannyasis leave their homes and families and go away. You have to live at home with your families, have yoga with the Father, and claim your full inheritance. You have to make a lot of effort. There is a lot of attainment. Sannyasis become pure, and so even great presidents, etc., go and bow down to them. Look at the difference between those who are pure and those who are impure. People make effort and become MPs, etc. Everything depends on effort. They ask, is effort greater or is the reward greater? Effort is said to be greater. It is by your efforts that you create your reward. Some then think that they will make effort if they have it in their reward, and that the drama will inspire them to do it. They think in that way and sit down and do nothing. The first and main thing is to give the Father's introduction. Don't waste your time in many things. If they understand just one point, make them write what they should write. I truly understand this. Unless they know the Father, they don't understand anything. This is the first thing to grasp. If you don't believe this, then go and take your own path. You say that the incorporeal Father is the Father of all, and so you write, God is one, and all the rest are his creation. Now, tell us, who the God of the Gita is? They would say that he is the incorporeal one. How would he have spoken the Gita? Then explain to them what the relationship with Prajapita Brahma is. The human world is created through Prajapita Brahma. He adopts you Shudras and makes you into Brahmins. You should make them write this down and then take their address. Then, after 10 to 15 days, write them a letter. First of all, give the father's introduction and bring them happiness. Write that you truly received the inheritance from the unlimited Father. These Brahmakumars and Kumaris show the path to the land of happiness and the land of peace. You should make them write this down and then continue to correspond with them. Only when you make this much effort can it be said that you are doing service. You should even lose your sleep in benefiting others. By your crying out to Shiv Baba and calling out to him, Baba has lost his sleep, didn't he? Just imagine he was responding to us in this some way or the other. So Baba says, by your crying out to Shiv Baba and calling out to him, Baba has lost his sleep, didn't he? Therefore he came. You children too should make effort. You should first explain these points at the exhibitions and when using the projectors. Acha, okay. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning. From the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharma, first point. Churn the ocean of knowledge in order to do service. Don't become tired. Create methods to benefit many. Second point. Whilst living with your worldly family, remember the Father from beyond. Make your reward elevated by making effort. Baba's blessing for today. May you be full of all powers and stable in any situation of upheaval by having one strength and one support. Baba explains, souls who have one strength and one support are constantly stable in a constant and stable stage. To have a constant and stable stage means to be constantly unshakable and not to fluctuate. Souls who receive all powers from the One Father and remain full of all those powers can remain unshakable in any situation of upheaval. To have a constant and stable stage means to have all your relationships with the One and to experience the sweetness of all attainments. No other relationship can attract you. And the slogan for today, to have an elevated attitude of unlimited service is to be a world benefactor. Om Shanti. Do have a very powerful day in Baba's sweet remembrance.